Advise. Are you giving the best advice to your prospect that you possibly can? Is it in their best interest? We're going to be talking about all of this today on today's show, on today's episode. Hi, my name is Mario Ficini, and I'll be your host for today. And we're going to be talking about advise. We have been covering the 7 steps of the expert authority effect. The first one is attention. You need to get your prospect's attention. The second one is, are you positioned as the authority? Because if you're not, you're going to have a hard time having anyone listen to you. The third one is associate. Are you connecting with them? The fourth in tonight's episode, advise. Are you connecting with them? Are you giving the best advice? So let's take a look at the agenda here. The first thing is it in the prospect's best interest? We're going to dive into that in a second, but we're going to do, what should we call this? We're going to do a quality assurance check. If you can see me, click the love button. If you can hear me, click the like button. And I'm going to double check a couple things here to make sure this is working, as we say in the biz, properly. And it looks like we're all good. Bum, 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 bum is the prospect's best interest. And now we got a whoa bingo going on here because it looks like it's actually working. So again, hit the love button if you can see me, hit the like button if you can hear me. We're just going to jump right into it. So speaking of that, is it in the prospect's best interest? There's a lot of advice out there, but is it in the prospect's best interest? It may or may not be. There are things I have seen where it looks like a good idea, looks like a good deal, it looks just good overall, whatever catches your attention. But then, you opt in, you look at it, you talk to the person, and you just start going, I don't think they really care about me. On whatever varying degree. It might be a little bit, it might be a lot, but you just have that feeling. And I always go to myself, and that's why I put it as part of the process. Is it in the prospect's best interest? If I need a new roof for my house, if I need a new dryer, if I need a new dock, if I need a new whatever, are you actually going to help me? So many people think, I'm looking for someone who knows what they're doing. I don't really care. Truthfully, I'd rather have someone that cares in a figure it out mentality than someone who knows 80% of what they're doing and might be up and coming. They might have all the excitement in the world. They might have all the gumption in the world, and they actually want to serve you. There's other people that are so complacent. They should be training the other people, but they're so scared or set in their ways or whatever that they have the expertise, and they're just like, oh, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that, for whatever is holding them back. And a lot of them call me, and I love working with them, because it's like they are the best. This other stuff I know how to work through and get them where they need to be. But if it's a brand new person, they're also good too, because a lot of them, I remember when I started, I'm not sitting on a pile of cash. I didn't work for 40 years and have a retirement plan or savings or anything. I had to figure it out. But I was always excited to learn. And there were times I was like, you know what? I got to break through to this next level and just get there. And then, I'll figure it out after the fact. It's like the old entrepreneur thing is, I think it was Richard Branson that talked about entrepreneurs are the people who jump off a cliff and build the plane on the way down. It's an attitude. It's a mindset. Now, I'm not saying to fake stuff forever and make it up and not know what you're doing. You need to get to a level of, you have to have the expertise and the skill set and the knowledge and know you can help. And that comes from the confidence of doing it. But there's no one that's done anything. I mean, shoot, Bill Gates, he sold the software for windows, and he didn't even own it. That would absolutely be an example of jumping off a cliff and building the plane on the way down. McDonald's. If you don't know that story, you should check it out. It's fascinating. And if you haven't seen the movie, recommend it. But it's a different mindset, it's the entrepreneurial spirit. So I work with people that are young, middle, old, whatever you want to call it. All different varying age ranges. And there's different things I've noticed, and it's not someone who's 20 or 25 and, oh, they're scared, they don't have experience. There's people that have been 50, 60, 70, and they're just as scared. And I'm looking at their fireplace, and they got awards all over it, literally from 30, 40 years doing millions in revenue. And they're still hesitant. And I'm thinking, I get that people are hesitant, but you would be number 147 on the list. And there's other people that don't have anything about them, and they're like, I'm going to make this happen. This is a done deal. So I'm myself have been reevaluating, going, who do I want to work with? Because I know I have good advice, without a doubt. And that's why I'm sharing this with you. But when you're looking at someone, it's not always as simple as what age band are they in or what demographic do they come from? Because truthfully, it'd be nice if it was, this person is coachable, trainable, and they're going to listen. And even if you give them something that's outside of the comfort zone, they're not going to fight on it. They're not going to fight you on it. So it's nice when people want to get stretched and they appreciate it. But it's not fun when they want to get stretched and they appreciate it. But some people believe they already know what the thing is. And it's like, if you don't want help, then what's the deal here? So what is the information you're giving the prospect? Is it in their best interest? That's the first thing. The second thing is it actionable? That's really nice. I like when it's big like that. I was testing out the letters last week, and I think we can go up to S in caps lock. There's a video from one of the other shows from last week. Check it out. I was testing out the lettering on here, and so I typed out the whole alphabet on it. So is it easily actionable? Sometimes people say, I can help you, but we're going to need to have a 1-hour phone conversation. And then we're going to need another 1-hour phone conversation. Then we need to talk in person for lunch. Then you need to come back for dinner. And then you need to stop by this and do that. And then we need to do an evaluation. And then we can get down to it. How can you, let's see here. Can I say that? I'm actually combining two different things. Let's stay on this because I have a third bullet point here. Is it easily actionable? When you have agenda, when you have a laundry list of what people have to do, they're probably not going to do it. So let's take the roofer. I need a new roof for my house. Well, I can help you. Great. People say, I'm looking for someone who knows what they're doing. I'm looking for, that's bare minimum. I'm looking for someone who cares. Say, here's what we need to do for your roof. Person A says, well, I got to come out and give you an estimate and then do all that. Then it's going to be 3 weeks and then we'll come back and do this. Person B says, you know what? Send me some pictures. I'd like to come out. I will come out. I need to come out. But send me some pictures of it. What's the square footage here? I actually have this little calculator that gets us within 90% of it. And here's some things you can be doing in the meantime. I'll get there in the next 3 to 5 days. But in the meantime, here's what we can be doing to expedite this. And then when I come out, you can actually tell me what you're looking for. And then it only takes 24 to 48 hours. So let's just schedule when I'll start. So right now, I can get out there by Friday or Saturday, and I could actually start work on Monday. And in the meantime, you can be looking at this. We can get it within 90%, but I'll take the exact measurements. And, we've done this 1,178 times, and we're within a 98% accuracy. You can see the testimonials here on the site. So this shouldn't take more than 3-4 days. So we're looking at, 7 to 10 days. You could be, how would you like to have this off your plate? That is totally different than, well, we need to go here and we need to go here. Everyone assumes there's work involved, but how? Woo! All right, having some fun. Please. Why is it so? Is that good? What happened? That's close enough. Everyone assumes that there's work involved, and there is. But how are you taking the timeline for your prospect and condensing it down? You do realize that people don't care how much time you spend anymore, right? Do you think you need to take 10 hours because they think there's some value add if you do it in 10 versus 9? You get paid on the result. If you're an entrepreneur, we're going to call an audible here. Put this baby in. You get paid on the result, not time. Please be big. Please be big. It still looks good, though. You get paid on the result, not the time. Let's go back to the roofer. If he says it's going to be $20,000 to do your roof, 10, 20, 30, whatever it is. If he says it's going to be between 10 and 30 grand to do your roof, and it's going to take a month, do you feel better that he's taking 30 days to do it? Or would you be happier if you could do it in 15 or 20? Now, that's assuming all the shingles are the same, all the tar is the same, it's the same size crew, he's not rushing, everything's the same. I'm not saying do a sloppy job and do it in 2 hours, but the point is there's people out there that just take the time. Whenever it gets done, it gets done. There's no way to look at it and go, how can I make this quicker? Do you want to be thinking about it that long? Do you want to be dragging it out? I'm not even talking about adding a premium for a rushed delivery charge or something. But it's always fascinating to me. Like when I had my books delivered, the first book I did is Video Marketing for Business Owners. It came within a couple of days. It's soft cover. It's print on demand. It's sweet. Hardcover, this was a different scenario. These are all limited edition custom. Okay? As of now, they're all limited edition. I have the only copies in existence, which is great. If you want one, comment below. I'll get you the link. There's a dust jacket. They were a lot more difficult to create. Again, it's hardcover, and it was a totally different process. Well, I was having a live event for the book launch, and I needed them there for the event and the training in person. So I paid extra for the rush delivery. Now, that doesn't mean they rushed the printing or the construction. They rushed the delivery. I just cared about the end result. You get, starts over here. Here we go. No, here we go. You get paid on the result, not time. Do you think I would have rather had the books in 48 hours or 7 days? 2 days or 7 days? Do I care if they take 10 hours to print or 15? Not really. Do I care if they take 2 days to print versus 3? Not really. Actually, I should have said a day or a day and a half, 24 to 36 hours. As long as you get them to me by the end of 2 days, I don't care if it takes you 10 minutes to print them and you have a magic wand, or it takes you 22 hours to print them and you can fly them here in a helicopter in an hour. I don't care. And business owners, if you're ever approaching a CEO and a true entrepreneur, we do not care how long it takes as long as you can get the end result. Now, when I say we don't care how long it takes, we don't mean take a month when you can do it in a day. We're talking about the hours. It takes you 6 hours or 7, whatever. If you say it'll be done in 2 days, great. And to my mind, that translates to 24 hours. I don't really care if it takes you 6, 10, 24, 18, whatever. So if you're going, I charge hourly, don't. No one cares. It's all about the result. So that was the audible. So it goes back to, is it actionable? Can you take fast action on it right away? Is this something where it's going to be, well, we need to talk for 15 hours first? Or is it something you could put into a book or a PDF or a video? Maybe even a sheet of paper. That's a little more reflective, but are you losing sales because you don't know who or how you serve? It's just a sheet of paper. It's truthfully it's a few pages from my book I printed out when I was teaching on it at one of my live events. And it's really, really, really good stuff. And if you do that one exercise, the whole book's like 105 pages. That's 2 or 3. And literally that alone would change your business for the better. The principle is going an inch wide and a mile deep instead of just all over the place. So is it actionable? I go, what is something actionable I can cover in 45 minutes to an hour with the audience that's really going to impact them? That's what I came up with for that event. So we're going to wrap this up with point 3. Here we go. Will it give the prospect a fast desired result? A win. Is your advice actionable? Advice, giving the best advice. Then we cover, is it in the prospect's best interest? Is it easily actionable? Will it give the prospect a fast desired result? Are you going to give them a win, or are you giving them more work to do? I love doing what I do. I get to help and coach and train people and help them launch their books and training programs and turn their expertise into profits. Take the stuff out of your head and turn it into all these different assets and resources that also provide royalties on what you're doing. So many people are just giving away all their best stuff just to say, here, water. I sell cases of water, whatever the case may be. Are you giving a 2-hour presentation just so someone spends $10 on a case of water? And that would be a really expensive case of water too, by normal standards, unless you have some Evian or some premium glacier stuff that an Eskimo chipped off and drove over here on a dolphin. That still would be, but let's just say they're $10. It's just a nice round square number. Are you giving away $2,000 worth of advice for $10 for a case of water? Or are you coaching and training and having the advice and people pay you for consulting? And if they want the product, they can get the product too. Have you ever considered doing both? Whether you want to coach or consult, are you positioned as the authority where you're at least doing it so your current customer base sees you as the expert and authority? Are you a doctor? Are you a lawyer? Are you a dentist? Have you ever considered speaking even once a month anywhere to educate people? Do a live cast, do a video, put it on YouTube, just have resources. Or are you given the best advice when they're already in your chair? If you're waiting till they're there, you're missing out. I love giving the example of Ruth Chris Steakhouse. I remember taking my parents there for Dad's birthday, and they have really good steaks. And the example is, If you're trying to get more customers in the door, you have to sell them first and foremost on the fact that it would be a wise decision for them to stop their life, stop everything they're doing, prioritize you to pay you. Truth. Just like with books, all my clients go, what should I do for the cover? Well, the cover has to be enticing. Then we get past that. What should it be about? What's the table of contents? What should I put on the back of the book? Oh, right. I noticed something, but see, I was looking for something to follow the success format we've used 5+ years now. But dust jackets are different. It's a different format. Similar, you just have more space for testimonials and people saying good stuff about you, which is what's on the back of here, which is what should be on the back of your book. But when people say what's on the back, you also have to have a reason they should keep reading. And truthfully, the back of this is now the front flap. So in this case, it's here. Instead of trying to get your prospects to look at you, why not be so captivating they can't look away? I actually borrowed one of my own quotes from the first book. So I'll show you this one, the back of it. Here's the front. Now the back. The back is a sales page because no one's going, you need to be captivating on the front so people want to read it. Then they flip it over. Think about the physical process that happens. And talk about why they should read it. So you go from step 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. It's common sense. And then chapter 1 has to sell them on the rest of the book. So every point in time, don't assume just because they go, oh, I want a copy of your book, they're going to get through and read it. And that is no different than your website or your video. If you've ever noticed, I start these off with the headline I put on here because I know I have 7 seconds to get your attention. Advise how to give the best to your clients. So many people start these off and go, is the microphone working? Can you hear me? Is anyone here? Okay, I'll just hang on until some people show up. Well, what if it's a minute or two? Someone watching this the next day isn't going to wait around a minute or two to see if Bobby Sue jumped on or Larry and John. You have to think about these things not as you're doing them. You have to pre-plan them. That's why it's good to have someone to help you. So when you're going through, it's the same thing. You've heard of attention-grabbing headlines. I remember that in English class for stupid papers. I'm not even talking sales and copywriting. Attention-grabbing headline. It is no different than your business. So what are you doing? What's the advice that you're giving people? How does it relate to them? Is it going to get them to that desired result? You have to sell them on each step of the process. So when you're going to the steakhouse, yeah, you want to get more people into the physical restaurant, but once you have them at the door, you have to give them a reason to stay. Do you have a valet to take their coat? Do you say, here's some complimentary whatever? Well, if there's a wait, which there shouldn't be, now they're at the table. Oh, now we're back here. What to order? Well, that looks good and that looks good. You're at a 5-star restaurant. Everything's going to look good and taste good. How do you get them to pick what you want? Oh, I leave that up to them. Yeah, but you know that some items are more profitable. And it's usually the ones you choose to put in your menu in pictures. And if you're not doing that, if you just left it to a graphic designer who was more concerned with the tones and hues, maybe you should pay someone for marketing, because one of the smartest things you can do is use that real estate for your most profitable items and put them up front, just like they do at stores on the layout. It's the same thing, the same principle. You always lead with your best. If that's the mindset you're coming from, because that's what I teach. If that's not what you want to subscribe to, that's your prerogative. But if you ever notice with cars, boats, homes, houses, vacations, they always say flagship model shown. Why? Because you can always go down, but it's a lot harder after someone is sold here to put them up. And if you're into internet marketing, you'll notice that is the exact opposite. So if you're selling $99 crap, charge more. You're giving away your best for cheap. Don't do it. Will it give the prospects a fast desired result? Are you giving them a win? If you are not, you've already lost. Don't just make stuff for the sake of making it. You need to be qualified. You need to be the best. And when you know you are, you better be giving away something that's, you still need to follow the format. Just because you're the best doesn't mean you get an exemption. I'll be the first to admit, when I started doing stuff, I go, I got the books, I speak, everyone knows me. This should be cake. I don't need to listen to any of that stuff. Yeah, it didn't work. And then magically, I applied what I was taught, and it did work. But here's the good thing. Whether anyone knows you right now or everyone knows you, you still have to follow the format. But once you do, it's going to work for you. So the cool thing is, whether you've been in business for 2 years or 20 years, it's going to be an immediate skyrocket, no matter what you're doing, because it's a success formula. It's a blueprint. And I've learned it, and I love sharing it with people. And it's just so, my goal now is to see the absolute quickest I can take someone through it. I need the right person, but I've offered 16-week coaching, 12-week coaching, 8-week coaching, and I looked at all of it. And again, just like the roofer example, are you going to take 30 days or 3 days? I looked at it going, well, we need to do this. We need to start here. We need time to, you do need enough time for promotion. But as far as the rest of it, I'm looking forward to helping the one rock star or the girl or guy, someone to go through it in 24, 48 hours. And of course, we'll do at least 2 weeks of promotion. But that's what excites me, is helping people, giving them the transformation. So we're going to recap with all this. And advise, giving the best advice. Make sure you are. Is it in the prospect's best interest? It better be. Is it easily actionable? What's the shortest path to get them to the result? Don't make it complicated. It should be something they can do on their own without your help. Will it give the prospect a fast desired result or a win? It has to. Otherwise, they're going to stop listening to you. And keep in mind, you get paid on the result, not the time. So if you enjoyed this, which I know you have, and you want the full 7 steps, you can check out expertauthorityreport.com. It's a free resource. It will give you a win. It is easily actionable, and you don't need my help to get started. So with that, I look forward to seeing you on the stages of the world and living the life you deserve. Be the expert. You are the expert authority. You are the expert authority effect. Believe it, and it's your time to shine. God bless.